State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate.
Ooh, and welcome to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. My name is John Christmo, and the show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate every Friday, 12 noon Eastern Time. We're here to help you understand real estate, to help you better understand what it actually takes to not just earn a real estate license, but earn a living with a real estate license. Make sure this mic's not slipping away on me here. There we go. All right, so hopefully we're coming through loud and clear. Today, we're getting ready for 2025. So we're live today. You can tune in with us live at tsre.us/live. We've got an official live chat on there, and I've actually got that loaded up on the screen right in front of us here. So if you do have any questions about anything that we are covering today, go to tsre.us/live or go ahead and call or text us at 813-333-2676. You'll be able to speak with an advisor confidentially to be able to go over whatever questions you have about starting a real estate career, about the next steps you need to take, anything it is that you need to know or want to know. And even if it's something that we can't answer the question on directly, we could at least get you pointed in the right direction of where would be the place to find that answer. Could be a title company, could be an attorney. We've actually got one attorney in specific we could refer you to if you're in a situation where you have a criminal background and you are trying to get a real estate license. A lot of people think that if you have a criminal background that disqualifies you from getting a real estate license, but that's not necessarily true. Also, your credit score, any sort of financial, literally the only thing it is that they're looking at on your background is going to be any sort of license activity, any sort of professional licensing. So if you've been disciplined with a professional license before, that could produce some obstacles and some hurdles to getting your Florida real estate license. Or if you have any sort of criminal convictions, again, that could create obstacles, but you can still get a real estate license in most cases. And we actually have an attorney we could refer you to, gives a free 15-minute consultation and goes over all of that. So whatever questions you have, whatever mysteries, whatever obstacles you think might be in the way of you and that dream real estate career it is that you're after, leverage the knowledge and experience and expertise of our advisors here, 813-333-2676. But let's get into today's topic, getting ready for 2025. So here we are today live on October 4th. There's only 89 days left. We're less than 90 days until a brand new year. And every year, January 1st, and even like the weeks leading up to that, because people are getting registered, getting ready. They get a New Year's resolution. They want to start a real estate career. But here's my question I want to propose for you today. If you're watching this today here on October 4th or at some point in the near future, and you want to start a real estate career in 2025, my question for you is, do you want to just be signing up for classes in 2025? Or do you want to be able to be in a position to where you could be closing deals right away in 2025? Because with 89 days left, that is more than enough time to complete this licensing process. Hey, we have schedules that are short as 7 days to go through the whole 63-hour program. They're long days, and we have some other formats as well. We have evening classes. Any one of our formats, even our longest format, the evening classes that go on for like 2 months, we still have just about 3 months left. So there is time to get your real estate license, to get your application, your fingerprints, and the exam done before 2025. So that way 2025 rolls around and you're already licensed. And now your goals, your resolution can be more about actually using your real estate license as opposed to, maybe I should get my real estate license because I sure am sick of this job. What a great holiday season I just had, being able to spend extra time with my friends and family. Wouldn't that be great if I could have that type of freedom with my time all the time? Not just because it's the holidays and the office is closed, but that you could be the captain of your destiny, of your future, of what you want the world to be for you. You could create that, you could manifest that, you could build that, but you have to put yourself in the right position. Now, ultimately, being a real estate agent, having a real estate license, starting a real estate business, that might just be a stepping stone to bigger and better things. Maybe someday you're becoming a real estate investor, maybe whatever it is that you want to do. Maybe you want to be a TV star, maybe you want to be a music star, whatever. We have to have a means to not just live, but to be able to thrive. Because if you want to be able to do these big things in your life or give the opportunity for those around you to be able to do bigger and better things in their life, it's going to take money. It's going to take money. And so the way most people go about earning that money is trading time for that money. When you're getting your real estate license, you start flipping that table a little bit. You're taking your money and you're also investing your time. But through that investment of money, through that investment of time, you're able to start something and build something that is truly your own. Something that nobody can take away from you. Think about it. Jobs can be taken away. Knowledge cannot. Opportunities can be taken away. Knowledge cannot. Training cannot. Understanding cannot. And so with that knowledge, with that training, with that understanding, regardless of what the opportunities are in front of you, with more knowledge, training, and a better skill set on your side, you'll be able to take advantage of whatever opportunities present themselves in front of you. Whereas in most cases, a lot of people, if you're in an employee type of role, there's some level of trust that goes into that organization that they're handling all those other things for you. That they're going to continue to not just survive, but thrive, so that way you could have a job in the future, even with automation, even with all the changes that occur. Or you take this moment and make a small investment in yourself. We're talking a couple $100s to get your real estate license, under $1,000, even if you do our most expensive classes. You could come to a live in-person class, be in the same exact room with a experienced, knowledgeable live instructor, or you could do it from the comfort of your home. Whatever way you do it, what's important is that you do it. There's no other real estate school that offers more options to get your real estate license. We have in-person, live online, a video-on-demand, instructor-led, at your own pace, 24/7 on-demand course, as well as a text-based online course. So we have 4 different options to get your real estate license with 3 different online options. And that's why we've helped students from over 40 countries around the world not just starting their real estate careers, but advancing their real estate careers. If you need post-licensing, continuing education, you're ready to get your broker license, again, that phone number to reach out to our advisors for any questions you have is 813-333-2676. Maybe you already have your real estate license, and that's what's in store for you in 2025. Maybe you're ready to take that next step of getting your broker license. Look, this last quarter of the year, for some reason, people can always find time, it seems, in this last quarter. Some way, somehow. And if you could some way, somehow find time in this last quarter to be able to do this course, to be able to go through this information, to be able to pass that exam, we lay it all out. We have all the tools in the Pass First Try exam prep strategy as well. So this whole combination right here, you focus on this, you go through this, you do your course. That is a requirement. You must complete all the hours of this course in order to get the credit to be able to take your state exam. You use this to be able to brush up on what you need to know for your exam and all the other exam prep tools that go along with that digitally. And that's what's going to get you your real estate license. So let's go to the board here and let's really lay this out. So here we are. 10-4. You get that? 10-4? You read me there? 10-4. We're on 10-4. All right. Enough jokes. We've got 89 days. Tomorrow we'll have 88. Sunday will be 87. Monday will be 86. Tuesday will be 85. Notice the trend. Every day that goes by is taking another day off of that time frame if you want to get licensed before the end of the year. And why would you want to do this now as opposed to January? Well, guess what else happens in January other than just people wanting to get a real estate license? It's people wanting to sell their house. In terms of listings, let's take a look. I'm going to do my best to really try to lay this out. And matter of fact, I might even just copy this right out of our post-licensing book here so I make sure I get the peaks and valleys correct. But rather than flipping through it, I'll just write it out. I've taught this enough times to remember what it is here. So this is essentially what you're looking at on an annual basis of January to December. And you notice here, right, and really it's right as we get to the end of December, this starts trending up. And it doesn't matter what's going on with the real estate market on the larger scale, it always follows to some degree this pattern to where right here, this is like March. March is usually one of the busiest months in terms of listings hitting the market. Now, in terms of closings, that's where we get into June, because a lot of those properties that got listed in March, they're now closing by June. So that's why June is actually, out of all the months, it's the busiest closing month of the year. And so if you've already got your real estate license, if you're already active with a broker come January 1st, that means that you could be able to put yourself in a situation to be able to catch this wave of listings. And listings have always been the name of the game. Always. Even now with the new rules for buyers and the buyer brokerage agreements and so on and so forth, that becoming more standard now, that overall is a good thing for the real estate industry, just because it really puts realtors in a position to where they should have a good relationship with their client as buyers, which was typically more so only the case on the seller side and the listing side. And look, you could say it's a good thing, you could say it's a bad thing. It is what it is. And so that's why it's a good thing, because if we think it's a bad thing, we're limiting ourselves. Whereas we look at what we could do, how we could positively benefit from whatever's going on in the world, whatever that opportunity may be, even when those opportunities don't look like they're opportunities, even when those opportunities look like they're like a wrecking ball that's coming in to take you out. If you can figure out how to hop on that wrecking ball and hold on, you could go swing yourself out to the moon. Take yourself to the moon. But anyway, so look at this 90-day period right here. If we're talking about January through March, that's quarter one. You don't want to miss out on quarter one. Now, people start talking about, oh, well, quarter two, June. And look, if you're brand new to real estate, you might not even know this yet, but June is the busiest closing month of the year. Number 2 busiest closing month is December. That's most closings. December is the second most closings. There's a lot of trends that go on, and you learn about this in your post-licensing. That's why I wanted to pull this chart right out of here, just because it goes over these market cycles. And it's not just market cycles of, oh, we've got a boom and a bust, a great time and a recessionary time. No, this is an annual cycle that you have going on here. And I don't want to waste your guys' time flipping through that book to find this exact chart, but we've got this chart. We teach this in our post-licensing course. What is post-licensing? It's the requirement after you get your real estate license. Technically, it's not due for about 18 months until after you get your real estate license, but you want to do it as soon as possible, because that's where you learn about things like this. And the good news is you're learning this very special post-licensing topic today. So that way, while we're sitting over here in October, and that's why if you're a real estate agent and you want to get your broker license, you're ready to take that next step, or maybe you do need to do post-licensing, whatever it might be, this is the slowest time of the year, just generally speaking. Regardless of if we're in a boom market, it could be 2021, and this time of the year is going to be the slowest. It could be 2024, and this time of the year is going to be the slowest. It could be the hottest market you've ever seen or the worst market you've ever seen, and generally speaking, it's going to follow this overall trend of listing activity, and sales activity is usually following behind that, somewhere in the range of like 30 to 90 days typically, depending on how many days we've got on the market. So as days on market increases, that increases your overall time. And look, you learn how to study and know all these statistics so that way you could plan your business effectively. Because what's not a good plan? Well, you get licensed here, or you started here. If you already have your license, you're in good shape because you're ready to take advantage of that surge of listings that come into market, typically in the February to April type of time frame, typically peaking in March. January, you do start to see more hit on the market, but people are coming out of December, they're cleaning up after the holidays, they're taking down their decorations, they're maybe doing a couple little things here and there. And like I said, February through April, that is the time where you see the most listings. And if you're just getting started here, and let's say it takes you like 90 days to get your license, it doesn't have to. It could be less than 30 days. We've had people do this in less than 30 days. Maybe it's going to be 60 days for you. Maybe it's 90. It could take longer than that. You ultimately have a 1-year retake guarantee with us, and your certificate is good for the state exam for 2 years. So this could be really dragged out, maybe intentionally or unintentionally. I'd recommend not, though. I'd recommend trying to compress this time as much as possible so you get licensed, you can move on to doing the stuff that's going to actually make a difference for you. Getting the real estate license doesn't make any difference. It just opens you up to a new opportunity. It gives you an opportunity, and really a whole plethora of opportunities that did not exist for you before you had that real estate license. And so, like I said, if you're just doing the class here in January, we have a lot of people. It's usually our busiest month in January. So if you do want to sign up for January classes, we already have some of those on the schedule. You could reserve your seat right now for those January classes, because I promise you we will have sold out classes in January, because that's New Year's resolutions. Everybody wants to get their real estate license. But if you're getting licensed then, you start the class then, maybe you get licensed in March, maybe you're ready and trained up with a broker by like June, better than starting than never starting. But we're right now in the sweet spot, whether it's getting your real estate license, whether it's completing your post-licensing or continuing education, or getting your broker license. We're really in the sweet spot where, based on market activity, your business is going to allow you more time. In March, if you've got your renewal coming up in March, if you're doing something right, you're going to be busy in March, because it's usually the busiest month in terms of listings and activity. For buyers, there's new listings hitting the market, and so these buyers want to see the new listings. And whether you get licensed in January, February, March, December, October, July, August, it doesn't matter what month you get started, but understand where the market is going to be at there. And understand the cycles of your business. If there's maybe more administrative work, tax work, clerical type of stuff, training opportunities that you want to do, this is more your window here at the end of the year. Because springtime is usually the busy season for real estate. And again, June is the busiest closing month of the year. The most closings typically occur in the month of June, and that's because, again, those listings that are hitting the market between February and April are typically closing around June. So that's why this is the busiest season of the year. This is what we call the seasonality of real estate. And in Florida, it's not quite as dramatic as you might see in other states, because literally during this time here, especially like the December, January, February, it might be like frozen over, cold outside, 6 feet of snow. That's not an ideal situation to be able to sell a house. Whereas in Florida, we don't have snow. The coldest it gets really is like, I don't know, maybe like 40 degrees. Sometimes it dips a little bit lower than that, but that lasts for a couple hours typically before it just starts getting warm again. So Florida, we do have a little bit less of this seasonality. You know, especially in South Florida, what's wintertime? And so I'm not saying that there's not going to be activity happening here. There's a lot of other factors that go into this, though. There is, yes, just the seasons of it being wintertime, the holidays. People don't want to have, random strangers touring their house for sale if they're trying to, set up for Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner or whatever it is they might be celebrating. And so that's why, again, you see less listings. People get focused on other things. People get focused on Santa Claus, on buying gifts, on family, on friends, on things that are good things to be distracted with, and also maybe some bad things. But point being is that if you're looking for real estate business to be handed to you, it's least likely to be handed to you during this time, which means you've got to work the hardest during that time to be able to generate business. Or you work smarter here to take advantage of the busy time, and so that way you have money to tide you over during the slow times. Because you got to remember, that cycle is going to just continue on. And we're not talking about like major like shifts of huge swings in the value of property, but in terms of what it takes to get it sold, to how much business is out there to be had. That's why now is the ideal time. We've got 89 days till 2024. If you were to start today, even with our video on demand, so the video on demand version of this, there's 3 ways you could take the course that includes this book. The one method that doesn't include this book is our text-based version. And that literally basically is like kind of almost like an online book. It's a little bit more interactive than just reading a book, but it's all text-based. So that one doesn't include a book. That's one option. It's also our lowest priced option to get started. But just for a few dollars more, you can get the video on demand option. And with the video on demand option, you're getting a multi-camera production that follows along with this book using slides on this same screen. It's recorded in the studio here. I am your instructor with that video on demand format there, and I will guide you through everything it is that you need to know to be able to pass your real estate exam and more, because this course will cover a lot of information. So going through that, again, you could start right now. If you go to tampaschoolofrealestate.com, you could enroll right now in the video on demand course, and you could be doing the course within minutes of enrolling. Sometimes even like within like the same minute, it sometimes spits it out just like boom, like there you go, here's your login, hop in there. And we even have, again, there's slides that follow along. We even have a temporary copy of some of the pages of this book in there for you as well. So that way, if you want to get started right away, you don't have to wait for your physical book to come in the mail. So make sure, if real estate is on your radar, that you're not missing this opportunity that is in front of you. There's so many things you could do with your real estate license, but if you don't have a license, none of those opportunities exist for you. Once you get yourself in the position to where you can take advantage of those opportunities, that's where things are going to start to change. When you have the right training as well as to how to take advantage of that opportunity. So pre-licensing, it's laws and rules. Post-licensing is more about general business practices, building a business plan. More specifically, what legally makes a contract versus how to present a contract or an offer. So this is more people, more soft skills. There's no state exam, whereas this is more legalities, technicalities, and there's a state exam that wants to make sure you understand that information here. And we're here to guide you through this. You could actually get all three of these books here, the pre-licensing, the post-licensing, as well as the workbook for all of your exam prep tools. That comes part of our complete Jumpstart bundle. And out of my recommendation, I would really recommend that you do the complete Jumpstart bundle as opposed to just the course, because what that does is that will allow you, as soon as you get your license, to immediately enroll in the post-licensing course. So that way, all of this information that now focuses what the right broker is going to be for you, how you go about getting your first clients, how you warm up your sphere of influence to you being a real estate professional, how do you hold open houses, how do you door knock, how do you prospect, how do you almost everything you need to know to form the basis of all the different things you can do with your real estate licenses, especially as it relates to residential, is going to be covered in this post-licensing course. So to put this off is to do a major disservice to your real estate career. It's like stacking the deck against you. Because this is something that is literally a requirement. And that's what scares people off, because they think it's a requirement. This course, the pre-licensing to get the license, is a requirement. But again, the emphasis is laws and rules, versus here, the emphasis is on actually practicing real estate. Because once you've proven you know the law, now the Florida Real Estate Commission will say, okay, well, we're more flexible with what you have to learn about in post-licensing. Whereas they're very specific, because that state exam can be very specific. So it can be a little frustrating going through this initial process, but I promise, once you get through this is going to be far easier, not just to complete, but to understand. Because there's going to be moments in this course of pre-licensing where you might wonder, when am I going to use this information? And the answer might just be on the exam, or the answer might be, you might not ever use that information unless you do X, Y, Z. But it still has to be learned, and it could even be tested. Things get a lot more practical when it comes time for post-licensing, because again, now you're focused on real-world topics. Now you're focused on what you need to know to be able to build a successful real estate business, from laying out your business plan to where you're going to get your first clients, to how you actually service those clients, to how do you develop a system of a business, so that way you're not left with unpredictability as to when you're getting paid. If you want predictability in your business, you've got to, yes, understand the market. This is also something else that you learn about in post-licensing, but you have to understand your business. You have to understand the process that your business goes through to be able to cycle through a complete transaction. And that's going to involve talking to far more people than you initially might think. Because not every single person you talk to is going to buy a house right there in that moment or sell a house right there in that moment. So the more people you talk to, the more you multiply the likelihood that you're going to run into somebody who does need to buy right now, who does need to sell right now. And if you could get good at that, you could be successful regardless of whether we're at here or we're at here. Whether at the slowest time of the year or the busiest time of the year. Because just because the market's doing something doesn't mean that your business is doing the exact same thing. If you're adapting to the market, you can make sure that your business always succeeds in any market. But again, if you don't have the real estate license yet, if you haven't done post-licensing yet, you're missing out on key information. But if you don't even have the real estate license yet, if you haven't even taken the state exam, if you haven't even taken your pre-licensing course, what are you waiting for? And maybe it's because you have questions. Maybe there's some misconceptions or misunderstandings or just things that you're unsure about that you want to get cleared up before you enroll in a course. So reach out to our advisors, 813-333-2676. You can also find tons of videos over on YouTube, on Facebook, on our website, tampaschoolofrealestate.com. We've literally been doing videos like this for years, since like 2016, I think is when we did our first one. So 8 years we've been broadcasting like twice a week information to help you build a successful real estate career. And that's how we've helped tens of thousands of people from over 40 countries worldwide, not just in starting their real estate career, but achieving their dreams in real estate. So whatever stage you may be at, however it is we can help you, again, reach out to us. The phone number is 813-333-2676. That's about all the time we've got for today. So thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next Friday for another episode of State of Real Estate. Until then, have a fantastic weekend. Make something happen. Make something big happen for your future. Don't let these 89 days we have left at the end of the year here slip you by. So again, you need any help with any of that, 813-333-2676. That's all for today. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday.
The most powerful tool to study for your real estate exam is the Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate. We've used our years of experience in preparing students for the Florida real estate exam to bring you the most powerful exam study tool available. In the Question Simulator, you'll be able to go directly to a particular unit so you can focus on the sections where you need the most practice. We have also included the percentages of each unit so you know which units are the most important for your real estate exam. Every question will immediately give you detailed feedback, which is almost always more important than the question or the answer themselves. After completing all the questions in a particular unit, you can go through question by question and review any that you've gotten wrong. You could also print out a report at the end of each quiz. The Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate is 100% mobile compatible, so you can practice with test questions anywhere you have your phone with you. Enroll now at questionsimulator.com and get ready to pass your exam.
Are you studying for your Florida real estate exam? If you are, you need to check out our Pass First Try strategy. You're gonna love this. It's 4 steps that we break down the process to study for your Florida real estate exam. So you're set up to pass your Florida real estate exam because that's what you're studying for, right? To pass your exam. It's 4 steps. Number 1, you learn the information. You've got to learn this to be able to pass the exam, but it doesn't stop at learning. Step 2, you've got to reinforce the basic, simple, key concepts. As you learn this information, keep reviewing the simple things. You don't need to know everything, but you got to review these basic key concepts. Step 3, you've got to test your knowledge. The exam's going to test your knowledge, so if you don't test your knowledge in advance, you won't find out if you know what you think you know until you take the exam. And then step 4 is be confident and prepared, because even if you know this material, you need to be confident that you know the material. Check out the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com. Have you been thinking about getting your Florida real estate license? Look, the process is probably easier than you think. We break it down step by step, how much it's going to cost, what it is that you need to do to get your Florida real estate license. Find out all of that and more at licencefl.com. Again, that's licencefl.com. So you just got your real estate license. How can you jumpstart your real estate business? the number one thing you should do before you do anything else is post-licensing. Now look, this is already a requirement, so you're gonna have to do it anyways, but here's why you wanna do it early. The sooner you do post-licensing, the sooner you're gonna learn the real-world concepts in post-licensing that will help you create a business plan, that'll help you plan for your success in real estate. Post-licensing is all about real-world topics that are usable, that'll help you grow your real estate business. And at Tampa School of Real Estate, we have the best post-licensing courses around. Find out more about how post-licensing can help you jumpstart your real estate career. Go to postflorida.com.